Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm XIV. Today, I just want to talk about Summoner for a little bit. I've been seeing since the rework that people are very 50-50, I'd say, about it. Maybe like 60-70 on the bad side. And I get why people are upset because I mean, if a job changes that drastically, anyone's gonna get upset that used to like it before. But before we really start getting into it, I just want to say that Summoner was my first job that I've ever played. It was my starting class that I started in ARR like 8 years or so ago now. So I have it has a very special place in my heart because of that. The old Summoner and new Summoner, just Summoner as a whole. I do love it a lot, even though I mostly play other classes now. But that being said, let's kind of get into the nitty gritty a bit. This video won't be too long because I just wanted to get it out there now and add some thoughts. But um, I do get where people are coming from both sides of the spectrum, either liking it or disliking it. I lean more on the liking it side, but I do see some flaws in it as well. Like leveling, the leveling experience is absolutely horrendous, all the way up until about level 86 or so. I think it's 86 where you get the summon like combo spells. That is where it really starts to feel like a full job in a sense. It shows its true colors. And also I'd like to say in casual content it is not that great. It's kind of a you don't have to think about the rotation, you just go through the motions and you're good. It's done. But in high end content, it has been extremely fun. So when End Record dropped, I got to level 90. I think it was like the second job after Reaper that I got to 90, and I dropped it after that because I thought I wasn't any good. I was like, whatever, I'm just not even thinking about it. I'm just pushing buttons, right? But so I joined a static for 6.2 and they needed a caster. And I was like, well, I already have my summoner up to level 90, so why not play that? And just learning in the first in EX4 and then now in Savage has been extremely fulfilling. The way I can kind of what I can kind of compare it to is Black Mage, in the sense where Black Mage doesn't have a crazy rotation per se, but using that rotation in harder fights becomes very problematic because in I guess Black Mage's case you have to stand in one spot forever. In Summoner's case, you have to kind of plan out where you're going to use each of your summons for the maximum uptime. Or if you want to save your swift cast, if your group's maybe having a couple issues at a different part or another, or if you would like to use that swift cast to do some extra damage, have more uptime in your Gruta phase, or maybe even Ifrit if you'd like. But just that alone and learning the fights and trying out different strategies, placing your summons in different spots within that fight has been extremely fulfilling to me and fun. Very fun. So I would say in casual content, maybe go for a different class or whatever. But in high end content, I would, if you don't want to be pulling your hair out like you do with Black Mage trying to learn a fight, high end fight, maybe try Summon Out for like to have that fulfillment, but just to a little bit of a lesser degree. And I think you will get a lot of enjoyment out of it that way. Also, Summoner traditionally in Final Fantasy games, they have their summon, their primal summon that comes out, and they do one big attack and then leave, which is traditionally what it is for Final Fantasy games. So that really lines up with Summoner we have now. But they took away the dots. Everyone, well, maybe not everyone, a lot of people really like those Summoner dots. That's what made the class to people. That's what it was known for. It was just having to keep that dot up time like a bard or something like that. And while they did get rid of that and that does simplify some things, I do think it was the right choice for Summoner because Summoner isn't a dot class in any of the games to my knowledge. I could be wrong there, but And maybe they have plans for a dot caster. We don't know, but it's very heavily implied that a caster is coming in 7.0 as a new job, since in 5.0 Shadowbringers we got a dancer for ranged, and then in 6.0 Endwalker we got Reaper, a melee. So what's next? A caster. So maybe they're planning to make a full-fledged dot caster then, which would be very cool. But I guess we'll have to see. But to get back to the main point, I do think Summoner is a great class for if you want a caster for high-end content. It's like the in-between where you have Red Mage who is extremely mobile almost all the time. You don't really have to plan out a fight too much other than your melee uptime. And then you have Black Mage where you have to plan out every single bit of the fight where you want your position to be to have that max uptime to really get the full potential out of Black Mage. Or Summoner kind of fits in between that. You need to plan out a little bit. You need to plan out when you want to use your different summons for the max uptime. But also you have that little bit of wiggle room to kind of do as you please. And then while you're in like Ifrit or in Garuda, you have a lot of freedom to move around and whatnot. Kind of feeling like a ranged DPS in a sense. But you still get those big numbers that casters have, which is very satisfying. But yeah, that kind of it's a shorter video now. It kind of wraps it up. I just wanted to get those thoughts out there and maybe convince some people to give Summoner a shot and some higher end content, and maybe they'll fall in love with it like I have. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed that short little video, there'll definitely be more to come, more Final Fantasy videos to come. I want to clarify. In the future, I'm working on a tier list video of the most fun jobs that I like. It's very personal, I know. It might cause some debate, but we'll see. Yeah, you guys enjoyed that? Please stick around. There'll be more to come. You guys have a good one. Peace.